Okay, just a couple quick hints about starting the game and playing. So once you get to the website, you're going to click on Launch Game, and it'll take a couple seconds to load. It won't be very fast. And you're going to see a screen that looks like this. These are all the natural disasters you can have occur during the game. We're going to click on Play Game. Okay, and there's all these options of different natural disasters that you can put a town through. So there's a hurricane, a wildfire, a flood, etc. We're going to start with the second one, which is an earthquake in the Eastern Mediterranean. And trust me, you want to start with the easy. Okay, start with easy. So we're going to click on that. Okay, and basically, someone from the village is saying, we are a Mediterranean city. The city has a population of about 436 people. They rely on agriculture, service activities, and tourism for livelihood. You have to protect as many people, buildings, and livelihood as you can against an earthquake. So, in about 20 minutes in the game, an earthquake is going to happen, and you have to make sure your town is ready. So, let's go to the next slide. The biggest challenge and the way to pass this challenge is that you have to provide accommodation for 600 people. That means they have to have a house, okay, or somewhere to go. You have to build one hospital and one school, okay, and there's also a need to retrofit at least 10 old buildings. That means make them safer, bring them up to code so they can survive an earthquake. Okay, it says think about what you can do to better protect people and their properties against earthquakes. You have a choice of housing, and also many upgrades and defenses are available. Choose the best option and save as many people as you can. Okay, so here's the town. If you hold on and hold the clicker down, you can move and go around the town. So the town limits aren't very large, but there's certainly more on the screen than you can just see. Okay. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, here's your budget. You have a ton of money to spend. So do not be afraid to spend money. You have $50,000. And there's no penalties for spending all of it. So I would recommend spending, spending, spending. Okay. Also, take a look at your population. You've got 600 people, 436 are housed. So you've got to still find 164 people homes. Okay. And good places to build are places where you know that is where you've got these people, right? So where there's a lot of people, that's probably not a bad spot to house because that'll be a spot where they can live, okay? And then as time starts ticking, the probability of the earthquake happening is going to go up. So you know, like when you're at 75%, you only got a couple minutes until the earthquake's going to hit, okay? So let me show you a couple other features. Basically, when you click on Show Risk down here, it shows you the risk of areas or land where it's going to be a little tricky, okay? And basically anything that has, let me see. Let me unshow risk here. And it also shows you a little bit when you click on it. So basically when you click on a square, based on if you're doing a building or a person, it's going to give you options. So it's going to say how hazardous it is. So see this 4. I think it's a 1 through 6 rating. So 4 means this modern housing's a 4. It's pretty safe, but it could be safer. And it holds 8 people. So if I click on it, there's a couple options I have. I can get rid of it completely, which would destroy it. Okay. So let's go to another building. So I can still, if I click on it, can get rid of it. Then I can see information about it. And it says apartments hold a large number of people, so it should be well constructed and protected. Okay, so that's just telling me about the apartment. Then on existing structures, so it's this little upgrade symbol. When I click on it, I can add stuff to make the building more safe. So I could add building reinforcements. I could provide better electrics, so there's not a fire. I could secure fittings. I could retrofit the building, which means I make it more modern. So I probably would want to click on all of them. Okay, and then you'll notice it goes out in my budget. Okay, but now if you notice, this apartment is not, is a safer level. Okay, I can do that the same thing with housing. Okay, I can click on housing, find out information about it, destroy it, or do upgrades. When I click on ones that have people on it, there are different things I can do. I can make them a house. So look at all these different options. I can put a wood hut, a brick cottage, all the way down to a hospital or a school. By clicking on the eye, I can find out more information about why that building might be good or bad. And then by clicking on the plus, I can add something there. Okay, so I'm going to add a hospital right here. Okay, and then when I click on the hospital again, there's still those options. I can get rid of it. I can find out more information, or I can even upgrade and add different stuff to the hospital. Okay, same thing with regular land. If I click on land and there's people on it, there's a whole bunch of options. The information tells me about the land, okay, that there's people there. And they have no housing, okay? Also, I can build a house there. There's this green little shield, which is protections. So if I wanted to, I could put trees there. Trees help protect when it comes to having defenses, okay? So if I wanted trees there, I could click on that. That doesn't solve my people problem. I'll still have to find a place. If you notice, my people didn't change. Okay, so if I click on this, I can then, well, I'm not going to put trees there. I can then build something. So let's say I want to build a wooden hut or a brick cottage. I'm not sure. So I'm going to click on wood hut and find out. I'm going to look on brick cottage and see. So, okay, after reading it, I want a brick cottage. So I'm going to spend that money, and there goes a brick cottage. And now more people are housed, okay? Don't forget, in this game, you've got to build a hospital, a school, and get more people in housing. And along the way, take a look at the risk level that's presented to you. You can also show the risk here, and you can see which things are at risk. So the darker the color, okay, so the red is a little bit more of an area at risk. So you can click on it and find out what's up with it, okay? And then again, by clicking on other things, you can figure out, how safe or unsafe it might be, okay? So you have, and if you notice, I've got about 30% here. So if you notice, I start to have more things that I can take care of, and you can go anywhere in the village. But you must house everybody. You must get a hospital, a school, and you must improve 10 buildings if you want a chance to survive, okay? Then by clicking on this dude over here, one last thing. By clicking on the dude, you can learn some helpful hints. So look here's some hints, some facts that you've learned about structuring and that'll help you win the game, okay? And it'll also give you facts about how much stuff that you might have, okay? And then look it says approximately 15 minutes until the disaster hits, okay? And you've built one hospital, you've housed not 600 people, and these other things haven't been done yet, okay? So you have until that time. If you want to play for 10 minutes and then see what happens, you can start the disaster. Okay, and you'll notice that all sorts of things will happen all over the town. Okay, and then by clicking on, I believe, show risk, or wait, I'm sorry. I think it pops up. Hold on just a moment. When it's over, it's going to give you a little news bulletin. There we go. And you can review the scene, or you can view the report, and it's going to tell you how you did. So here's how many people you housed. Here's how many buildings you were destroyed. Here's if you passed or failed on your mission of building a hospital, a school. If you helped retrofit 10 buildings, and then your death toll and how many damages there were. And then it'll tell you if you failed or not. So you can easily try again, build your village again. And that's what I'd recommend. Learn from your mistakes and try again. Okay? Good luck. When you're done today, what I want you to do is go back to the Google Doc that says Stop Disasters. And basically what you're going to do is I want you to go down to the chart. And the chart asks you to name and explain. So you're going to name 5 things that you think help mitigate, improve the chances that your town could survive that earthquake or tsunami, and you're going to explain why. So if you look here, here's an example. So I said sand. One thing I learned about was the sand, and I said soil mostly made of sand is a poor and hazardous location to build structures on. When the ground shakes, the sand is not solid enough to hold the building in place and prevent structural damage. Okay, so I'm going to type in 5 things I learned. If you're having trouble with this, here are some little hints. These are questions you could use to help you fill out these 5 things. So what kind of structures did you think were the best to build? Why? How should you build it? Like what kind of building materials seemed like they were the best? What's a more effective way to build or do or create something? What kind of housing seemed like the best and why? What kind of buildings and structures do towns need to survive? So after an earthquake happens, what kind of structures does a town rely on to help them survive? What should be added to existing structures? What kind of defensive measures can be built? And then how can you improve people's overall knowledge of the disaster before it even occurs? What kind of things did you notice that you could add to improve the likelihood of survival? Okay, so you're filling that out. You're then sending it to me and turning it in, and you are done. Okay, have fun.